Most seniors are living with signs of heart failure and they don't even realize it. Not because they've ignored their health, but because the body doesn't shout when something's wrong, it whispers. It starts quietly. A little shortness of breath, a touch of fatigue, maybe a few extra pounds appearing overnight. Simple changes that seem like a normal part of aging, but could actually be your heart quietly asking for help. Here's the truth. Heart failure rarely happens suddenly. It develops slowly, over time, as the heart loses strength little by little. And by the time the signs become obvious, much of the damage has already been done. But there's hope, real, powerful hope. Because when you know what to look for, you can catch it early and take steps to protect your heart before it's too late. In today's video, we'll uncover the 10 early warning signs of heart failure, explain what's happening inside your body, and show you simple lifestyle changes that can help you keep your heart strong and your energy high, no matter your age. So sit back, take a deep breath, and let's begin your journey to a healthier heart. Our first sign often goes unnoticed. Most people assume it's just age or being out of shape, but it's actually your heart's first cry for help. Shortness of breath. Sign 1, shortness of breath. The first warning sign of heart failure is shortness of breath. And here's the tricky part. Most people completely ignore it. They tell themselves, I'm just out of shape, or that's just age catching up with me. But that's not always the case. When the heart starts to weaken, especially the left side, which is responsible for pumping oxygen-rich blood out to the body fluid, can begin to back up into the lungs. Doctors call this pulmonary edema, and it's one of the earliest clues that your heart is struggling. Now, picture this. Your lungs are meant to be filled with air, but if they start filling with fluid instead, it's like trying to breathe underwater. You're gasping, not because your lungs are weak, but because your heart can't keep up. And this is what makes shortness of breath so dangerous. It creeps in slowly. You might notice it only when walking up the stairs or when lying flat in bed at night, but over time, it becomes more frequent, more uncomfortable, and that's when most people finally realize something's wrong. Key takeaway: if you find yourself getting breathless from things that used to feel easy, walking, cleaning, even talking, don't ignore it. It's not just aging. It's your body signaling an early imbalance between your heart and lungs. And as that shortness of breath becomes more noticeable, another subtle sign starts to appear, a deep, unshakable tiredness that no amount of rest can fix. Let's talk about that next. Sign 2, fatigue and weakness. The second early warning sign of heart failure is constant fatigue and weakness. It's not the ordinary tiredness that fades after a nap, it's a deep exhaustion that lingers, even when you haven't done much. When your heart weakens, it can't pump enough blood to supply oxygen to your muscles and organs. Without oxygen, your body's energy systems slow down. That's why everyday tasks carrying groceries, walking a few steps, or even combing your hair start to feel like running a marathon. And what makes this fatigue so sneaky is how normal it seems. Most people say, I'm just getting older. But the truth is, your age might not be the problem. It could be that your heart simply isn't sending out enough fuel to keep your body energized. So if you've been feeling weaker lately, or find yourself needing more breaks during the day, pay attention. Your body isn't lazy. It's signaling that the engine driving your circulation might be struggling. Doctors note, fatigue from heart failure is your body's early warning that cells aren't getting the oxygen they need. It's a quiet red flag, one that deserves testing, not excuses. Now, as your body tries to make up for that lost energy, something interesting happens. Your heart begins to speed up, but this natural response can make things even worse. Let's explain why. Sign 3. Rapid or irregular heartbeat. The third sign of heart failure is a rapid or irregular heartbeat, also known as palpitations. You might feel your heart racing, skipping beats, or pounding in your chest, especially when you're resting or trying to sleep. This happens because your body is smart. When your heart isn't pumping enough blood, it tries to compensate by beating faster. It's like a tired engine revving harder to keep the car moving. But here's the problem. When the heart beats too fast, it doesn't have enough time to refill properly between contractions. That means every beat pushes out less blood, and the heart's overall efficiency drops even more. Over time, this can create a vicious cycle. Faster heartbeat, less filling time weaker, output more strain on the heart. And sometimes, those irregular rhythms aren't just uncomfortable, they can be dangerous. Conditions like atrial fibrillation, a common rhythm disorder, can increase the risk of clots and stroke if left untreated. Health tip: if your pulse feels unusually fast, fluttering, or uneven, especially if it's accompanied by fatigue or shortness of breath, get it checked. It could be your heart's way of saying, I'm working too hard. And as the heart struggles to keep up, pressure starts to build, not just in the blood vessels, but inside the lungs themselves. That's when another clear sign often shows up, a persistent cough or wheezing. Sign 4. persistent cough or wheezing. The fourth warning sign of heart failure can sound innocent at first, a persistent cough or wheeze that just won't go away. You might think it's allergies or a bit of a cold that lingers longer than usual. But what's actually happening inside your chest could be far more serious. When the left side of the heart weakens, fluid begins to back up into the lungs. This extra fluid can leak into the airways, causing irritation, and that's when the coughing starts. Sometimes the cough may even produce a frothy or pink-tinged mucus, which is a clear sign that blood is mixing with lung fluid. It's not an infection. It's a signal your body trying to clear what shouldn't be there. Imagine trying to breathe through a sponge filled with water. That's what the lungs experience when fluid takes up the space meant for air. And here's the part many people miss. This cough often gets worse when lying down, especially at night. That's because gravity allows fluid to shift toward the chest, making it even harder to breathe comfortably. Health reminder: if you notice a cough that lingers for weeks, sounds wet, or becomes worse when you lie flat, don't dismiss it. It might not be your lungs that are sick, it could be your heart asking for help. And as fluid continues to build up, another surprising sign can appear. Your weight begins to climb rapidly, even though your eating habits haven't changed. Let's look at why sudden weight gain can be one of the clearest red flags your heart sends. Sign 5. Rapid weight gain. The fifth warning sign of heart failure often catches people off guard. Rapid weight gain. Not from overeating, not from changes in diet, but from fluid buildup inside the body. When the heart's pumping power weakens, it sends less blood to vital organs, including the kidneys, which regulate how much fluid we retain or release. And here's where things go wrong. When the kidneys sense less blood flow, they assume the body is dehydrated. So they start holding on to extra salt and water, trying to fix the problem. But that only makes things worse. You can literally gain 2 to 5 pounds in just a few days. And it's not fat, it's fluid retention. That excess fluid often gathers in the belly, legs, and ankles, leading to swelling and discomfort. Many people brush this off, thinking it's just bloating. But in reality, it could be a signal that your heart isn't keeping up with the body's circulation demands. Health tip: if your weight suddenly jumps by more than 2 pounds in 24 hours or 5 pounds in a week, talk to your doctor right away. That's not normal, and it's one of the earliest, most reliable clues of fluid overload from heart failure. And if that extra fluid doesn't find a way out, it doesn't just stop at weight gain. It begins to settle, especially in the lower parts of the body. The next sign: swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet. Sign 6. Swelling in the legs. Edema. The sixth sign of heart failure is one you can see and feel swelling in the legs, ankles, or feet. Doctors call this edema, and it's one of the most visible signs that your heart may be struggling. Here's why it happens. When the right side of the heart weakens, it can't push blood efficiently back up to the lungs and the rest of the body. That means blood starts to pool in the veins, especially in the lower body, where gravity makes it harder for fluid to move upward. And when that pressure builds, fluid begins leaking out of the blood vessels and into the surrounding tissues. You might notice your socks leaving deep marks around your ankles, or your shoes feeling tighter by the end of the day. Some people even notice their legs looking shiny or stretched. That's fluid collecting beneath the skin. Important note: swelling in the legs isn't always caused by aging or standing too long. When it happens alongside shortness of breath or fatigue, it could be your heart's right side signaling that it's under strain. And here's something crucial: right-sided heart failure often develops after the left side has already weakened. When the left ventricle struggles, fluid backs up into the lungs. That extra lung pressure then makes it harder for the right side to pump blood forward. So over time, both sides of the heart start to suffer. If you notice your legs or feet swelling regularly, take it seriously. The earlier you act, the more likely you can stop heart failure from progressing further. And as that fluid continues to move through the body, another strange thing starts to happen. You may find yourself waking up several times at night to use the bathroom. Let's explain why that's another key warning sign. Sign 7. Nighttime urination, nocturia. The seventh sign of heart failure is one most people never connect to their heart, waking up multiple times at night to urinate. It's called nocturia, and it can quietly reveal a lot about what's happening inside your circulation system. Here's what's really going on. During the day, when you're upright, gravity pulls fluid toward your legs and feet, especially if your heart is weak and can't circulate blood efficiently. That's why your ankles might swell as the day goes on. But when you lie down at night, gravity no longer pulls that fluid downward. Instead, the trapped fluid from your legs and lower body returns to the bloodstream. Your kidneys suddenly receive a flood of blood volume, interpreted as too much fluid, and start filtering it out, sending you to the bathroom again and again. It's your body's way of trying to balance itself, but it's also a clear clue that your heart and circulation aren't working in sync. Quick self-check. If you notice you're waking up 2 or more times a night to urinate and it's not caused by diabetes or an enlarged prostate, it might be time to look deeper. Your body could be struggling with fluid redistribution from heart failure. And speaking of nighttime struggles, many people with developing heart failure notice that they can't sleep flat anymore. Let's look at why needing multiple pillows or sleeping upright could be more than just a comfort preference. Sign 8. Trouble sleeping flat. Orthopnea. The 8th sign of heart failure often shows up quietly. You can't lie flat without feeling short of breath. Maybe you've noticed yourself needing 2 or 3 pillows to sleep comfortably. Or perhaps you've started sleeping in a recliner because lying down just feels suffocating. This condition has a name, orthopnea, and it happens for a very specific reason. When you lie flat, gravity shifts fluid from the legs and abdomen back toward the chest. If your heart is weak, it can't handle that sudden surge of blood returning to the lungs. The result? Fluid builds up in the air spaces of the lungs and breathing becomes a struggle. People often describe it as drowning from the inside. And even though sitting up brings quick relief, it's only temporary because the underlying issue is the same. The heart can't pump efficiently. Watch for this clue. If you find yourself stacking pillows to sleep upright, or waking up gasping for air after lying down, don't ignore it. This isn't just about comfort. It's a sign your body is compensating for fluid overload. And while movies often show people sleeping half upright for comfort, the truth is, when it becomes a necessity, it's a clear red flag. Your heart and lungs are working overtime, and as the condition progresses, even simple activities, climbing stairs, walking short distances, or doing household chores start to feel impossible. Let's talk about this next major sign. Sign 9. Difficulty with light activity. The 9th sign of heart failure is one of the most frustrating, feeling exhausted from even the lightest activity. Things that used to be effortless, climbing a few stairs, walking to the mailbox, or doing light chores, suddenly leave you breathless and drained. Here's why. When your heart can't pump enough blood to meet your body's needs, your muscles and organs don't get enough oxygen or nutrients. That means even the smallest effort feels like a major workout. At first, you might brush it off blaming age, stress, or a lack of exercise. But this kind of fatigue is different. It doesn't go away with rest, and it gradually gets worse over time. Your body is trying to conserve energy, directing blood flow to vital organs like the brain and heart, while stealing it from muscles and limbs. That's why your legs feel weak and heavy, and why recovery takes longer after simple tasks. Health reminder. If you find yourself avoiding stairs, skipping walks, or needing frequent breaks for no clear reason, it's not just slowing down. It could be a sign that your cardiac output, the amount of blood your heart pumps per minute, is starting to fall. This stage usually appears when both sides of the heart are beginning to struggle, making circulation less efficient overall. But here's the hopeful truth. Catching it early can make all the difference. With proper care, medication, and lifestyle changes, the heart can regain much of its strength and endurance. And when fluid overload becomes more severe, it doesn't just affect your legs or lungs, it can begin to fill your abdomen, creating swelling and pressure inside your belly. Let's explore the final major warning sign. Sign 10, swollen abdomen. Ascites. The 10th and final sign of heart failure is a swollen abdomen, a condition doctors call ascites. It may feel like bloating or that your belly is growing even when you haven't eaten much, but this isn't caused by food. It's caused by fluid buildup deep inside your abdominal cavity. Here's how it happens. When the right side of the heart becomes too weak to move blood forward, pressure builds up in the veins, returning blood from the body. That back pressure forces fluid out of the veins and into surrounding tissues, including the space around your liver, intestines, and stomach. Over time, that fluid can accumulate so much that it presses on your organs, causing discomfort, loss of appetite, and shortness of breath. You might even notice your clothes or belts fitting tighter around the waist, or a sense of heaviness after small meals. Doctor's insight. This is usually a sign of advanced heart failure, where both sides of the heart are struggling, but it's also an urgent signal, one that requires medical attention, not guesswork. The good news? With early detection, proper medication, and lifestyle changes, The process can often be managed and, in some cases, reversed. So if your abdomen seems swollen, but you haven't gained weight from food or changes in diet, don't ignore it. That's your body's last major warning. The heart and circulation system need help now. Now that you understand the major warning signs, let's talk about what actually causes heart failure and the everyday choices that either protect your heart or push it closer to danger. The causes of heart failure and lifestyle risks. Now that we've seen the warning signs, let's uncover what actually causes heart failure and the lifestyle habits that quietly push your heart toward danger. Heart failure isn't caused by one single event. It's the end result of years, sometimes decades, of small, repeated strain on the heart. Let's break down the main culprits. 1. High blood pressure, the silent burden. This is by far the has-shown cause of chronic heart failure. When blood pressure stays high, the left side of the heart must work harder to push blood through the arteries. Over time, that constant pressure thickens and weakens the heart muscle like overworking an engine until it burns out. If you only control one thing in your health, make it your blood pressure. Coxy. Previous heart attacks. A heart attack or myocardial infarction permanently damages part of the heart muscle. Those scarred areas can't contract normally, which reduces the heart's pumping strength and efficiency. Even a small heart attack can set the stage for future heart failure if lifestyle changes aren't made. Number 3. Diabetes, insulin resistance, and obesity. These three are deeply connected, and they are among the fastest growing causes of heart disease today. When blood sugar levels stay high, it damages blood vessels and forces the heart to pump against stiff, inflamed arteries. Excess body fat adds even more stress, raising blood pressure, increasing inflammation, and reducing oxygen efficiency. The key? Maintain balanced blood sugar through whole foods, not processed carbs. 4. Smoking. Smoking doesn't just affect the lungs, it narrows and damages the blood vessels that feed the heart itself. Every puff increases heart strain, reduces oxygen levels, and speeds up the aging of your arteries. If you're still smoking, the best day to quit was yesterday, the second best day is today. 5. Valve problems and lung disease. Some people develop leaky or narrowed valves, forcing the heart to pump harder to maintain normal circulation. Others may suffer from sleep apnea or chronic lung diseases that increase resistance in the lungs. Over time, both can cause the heart, especially the right side, to wear out prematurely. Number 6. Toxins and medications. Excessive alcohol, certain drugs, and even some medications can weaken heart muscle cells. The more toxins your body processes, the more stress your heart endures. Summary. Heart failure often develops from a combination of these factors: high blood pressure, poor diet, stress, and inactivity. The good news? Most of them are completely within your control. So if these are the causes, what can you actually do to protect your heart? In the next section, we'll talk about real, science-backed steps to strengthen your heart naturally, starting right at home. How to prevent or reverse early heart failure. Eat better, move better, feel better. Here's the truth that too many people never hear from their doctor. Heart failure doesn't always have to get worse. If you catch it early and make the right changes, your heart can actually grow stronger again. Let's break this down into 3 simple principles that anyone can start today. Eat better, move better, feel better. 1. Eat better, heal from the inside out. Your heart health starts in your kitchen. Every bite you take either strengthens your circulation or slowly clogs it. Step 1. Cut out the big 3: sugar, seed oils, and processed foods. They create inflammation and stiffen arteries over time. Step 2. Eat real food. Choose whole, fresh meals rich in vegetables, lean proteins, fish, and healthy fats like olive oil or avocado. Step 3. Support with key nutrients. If your diet is limited or seasonal, consider supplements that directly support heart function, like fish oil for circulation, vitamin D for heart muscle strength, and B vitamins to lower inflammation markers such as homocysteine. These small, consistent choices reduce pressure on your heart every single day. Move better, because motion is medicine. Your heart is a muscle, and muscles need movement to stay strong. But this doesn't mean extreme workouts or gym marathons. Start simple. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk after meals. Stretch in the morning or do light chores throughout the day. Movement isn't just about burning calories, it's about keeping blood flowing. When you move, you stimulate your brain, your metabolism, and your circulation. Everything in your body begins to work better, including your heart. Remember, movement is not optional. It's how the body heals itself. 3. Feel better. Manage the stress that damages the heart. The final piece is emotional, and it's often the most overlooked. Chronic stress, anger, and anxiety release hormones that raise your blood pressure and tighten your arteries. But when you take time to breathe, pray, laugh, or connect with people you love, You're not just improving your mood, you're giving your heart a rest. So don't wait for life to calm down before you feel better. Decide to feel better first and watch how your body follows. Because when your mind finds peace, your heart finds balance. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Heart failure doesn't begin overnight, and it doesn't have to end in tragedy. Let's wrap up with the key lessons that can help you protect your heart and your life. To summarize, heart failure doesn't start with a crisis. It starts with clues, little changes that your body whispers long before it shouts. Shortness of breath, fatigue, swelling in your legs or abdomen, a cough that never goes away. These aren't random. They're your body asking for attention, and when you listen early, you give your heart a fighting chance. The truth is, your heart is incredibly resilient. Even after years of strain, it can rebuild strength when you give it what it needs: clean fuel, regular movement, and emotional calm. Because healing isn't just about medicine, it's about awareness and action. Remember, control your blood pressure. Eat real food, not processed food. Move your body every day. Manage your stress and protect your sleep. These small daily choices are how you prevent and even reverse the early stages of heart failure. So take a moment and ask yourself, how is my heart really doing? When was the last time I listened to its signals instead of ignoring them? If this video helped you understand your body better, take the next step to protect it. Comment, "I choose health." Below, let that be your declaration today. Give this video a like to help others discover these life-saving signs, and share it with someone you care about, because awareness saves lives. Stay informed, stay active, stay alive. Your heart has carried you through every moment of your life. Now it's your turn to take care of it. Thanks for watching, Health Champions. I'm here to help you learn how the body really works. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on all notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.